Technology wasn't working. Okay. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah in Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis. Oh my gosh, we've got so much to get to. Sorry I didn't do hair and makeup for y'all today. I've got the ponytail. I'm just dressed kind of casual. It was just kind of one of those days. You know what I mean? When I started going live, June of 2022, I was always in my gym clothes, no makeup, no hair. But the one time I put makeup on and did my hair, y'all flooded me with compliments. And so it now makes me want to do it almost every single day. But y'all, at the end of the day, I'm just a gym rat with my hair in a ponytail and no makeup. So that's really who I am. I just love y'all's compliments. And I try to make myself look a little more put together when I'm all on natural. So I do have a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of moisturizer, but other than that, thank you, Kelly. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much. Get comfortable in comments. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. We love when you join live. It is so much more fun. I promise you. This does go with the replay everywhere, so, except for TikTok, sorry. And of course, as a podcast, Jeff Lewis Obsessed. So please make sure, oh my God, you're better than a tam rat, someone said. Hold on, let me get that off, get my comments back. Okay, let's get started in shout out news. We're going to chat a little Kim Zolciak Bierman being the key word. Little Andy Cohen is pissed. A little 600-pound life, my other obsession. Yes, I have other obsessions than Jeff Lewis, and a little bit of the Justin Martindale and Allison. Is it Rosen? I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Podcast. I was DMing with her yesterday. I should have asked her how to pronounce her name, but I didn't know I was going to chat about it. It was a last minute decision. Anyways, okay. So I did sit down last night. I'm really not watching. I know Potomac started, Miami. I just can't make enough time for those anymore. The dedication for all of the Bravo shows. Anyway, so I had a little bit of time. I was looking at my DVR and I saw a 600-pound life. Y'all, they filmed this in Houston. Dr. Now, if you don't know who he is, just search Dr. NOW memes. He is insane. Like, he is ruthless. Like, he was made for TV for sure. I love a fluffy doctor that tells you you're fat and, 1,200 calories is plenty for a 650-pound person. Like, what? I mean, I do not count calories. It just has never worked for me. I just can't micromanage myself. I've always, since like high school, tried to make healthier choices, try to move my body, things like that. But, I love my sugar. I love my Dr. Pepper every once in a while. But he is ruthless. If you're not watching 600-pound life, take a peek at it. Anyways, I wasn't even sure if it was a new episode, but it was someone, I forgot her name. But I'm just curious, is it a requirement when you agree to go on 600-pound life that you're going to be filmed taking a freaking shower? Like, it is almost dangerous. Like, I'm always worried someone's going to slip and fall. Shoot, if you've never slipped and fall, we had our bedroom, our bathroom was original to our 2002 house. So we remodeled it in 2019, the fall. So it's all, everything new. But our shower basin, whatever you call it, was that like weird plasticky stuff, I think, like, wasn't tile. And I felt like we were going to slip at any moment. So I felt like we remodeled for the look of everything and to update, but also as a safety thing. Like, nobody wants to slip and fall in the shower, but especially not if you're obese. Like, it's literally terrifying. But I cannot watch the show enough. It seems like all the same stuff. Mom or dad overfed me as a kid. I had these issues. Everything in life is is an addiction or a way to cope, right? No matter if it's alcohol, drugs, eating, sex, exercising, whatever. So it's just a coping mechanism that they need to fix. I'm not sure that Dr. Now is the person for it because he is the least compassionate doctor ever. Like, he's crazy. But anyways, it's a thing I can't stop watching. So let me know in comments if you're a 600-pound lifer like I am, if you're 1,000-pound Sisters fan like I am of Tammy and Amy. Oh my gosh. Okay, another obsession that I can't stop looking at. Kim Bierman. So I talked about it the other day. They had their 11/11/11 anniversary dinner. Now she has changed. I reported on this months ago when she dropped Bierman from her Instagram name. So I think every 30 days you can change your Instagram name. So maybe, she's aware of this, and every 30 days it's going to be with Bierman or it's not. So it used to be Kim Zolciak Bierman, because, when you're famous for being Kim Zolciak from Atlanta, you're not going to drop that name, right? Now it's Kim Z Bierman. So a TMZ article said, like, divorce what? Every time this happens, we always get a police cam video that comes out the next day showing some idiotic reason that Kim or Corey or both have called the police out to their house. So this is probably our alert that we are going to get, some police cam video of that very soon, right? Okay, Andy Cohen live. Oh my gosh. So I made a video on that. So please go check that out on all my Jeff Lewis Obsessed social media. But tell me what you think. Like, he is literally, it was a threat today. So before he's kind of like bitching and moaning to John, like, why don't they have some signage? We've been here 8 years. All I'm asking for is a couple of Rady Andy stickers or Andy Cohen live. And John seems to agree with him, right? Well, today, Andy was like, look, I've got this upcoming annual, I forget what they call it, but Amy Sedaris and him, really good friends, do this like live in studio Hollywood, holiday party, and they air it on the radio, right? He's like threatening, like, I'm maybe not going to do that this year. I'm just going to tell her, you know what, for the holidays, instead of doing this promotional radio show, whatever, live event, why don't we just go and have a nice quiet dinner together? And then he said something like, I think I need to start pitching a fit like Howard Stern and Jeff Lewis does to get what they want at Sirius XM. He's definitely been mentioned Tim Johnson's names. It's crazy. Yes, Annette, have you been to that? You probably have. So Annette, Miss Lupo on Instagram, she lives in New York area. She lives on a Long Island, and she and her daughter Bella get to go to a lot of the super fun stuff. So anyways, that would be so fun if I lived in the area for sure. But let me know what you think. I don't know. Andy Cohen did admit that he fired his shrink, is what he called it, recently. And John Hill was like, oh, I can tell, like, things are out of order with you. I could tell that that your progress had halted. I thought it was kind of funny. But they both agree. So they're supposed to update us tomorrow. I don't know if they've got a big meeting or what, but it sounded like he's like going in with this ultimatum, like, give me some freaking stickers, make me feel loved and special. Isn't that what we all just want? And put up some stickers, or I'm going to cancel this Amy Sedaris event. And it's sponsored this year. So that would be digging money out of Sirius XM pockets. But y'all have let me know. I think he's got a couple more years of a, you don't think they renewed? Oh, y'all to my Amy, whatever. Yeah. Amy Phillips reality checked. That would be taking money out of Sirius XM's pockets. And that's where you always get your boss, right? But I'm just sort of shocked that he's kind of going at it so publicly, knowing that, he is the name and everything of Radio Andy, an entire channel on Sirius XM. So I'm just kind of watching this to see how it plays out, just like I'm watching whenever somebody gets the information and listens to Kelly and Rick's Patreon. If you will let me know what she says about the earrings, because I didn't watch all of Rick and Kelly's show this morning. I kind of stopped when they started, no offense, talking about her daughter's fish tank and cleaning it. I kind of lost interest. My cleaners came, so I love saying hi to them because y'all know Luna loves our cleaners every Tuesday. So, and then I got distracted with the nice fall weather and went outside and was listening to Andy Cohen with my coffee outside. Okay, kind of speaking about the earrings. It's not about the earrings. So I got so many messages yesterday that y'all said, you've got to go listen to this amazing interview. And it really was good. Allison Rosen is your new best friend is the name of the podcast. Apparently, I'm sort of filling with my people. So Justin Martindale had this huge podcast, Glitter or something. I'm forgetting the name of it. Sorry. And he had a falling out with his other co-host. Also, Allison Rosen used to be with somebody. Oh, crud. Somebody share with me in a DM. Y'all tell me who it is on comments. She used to be with someone and had a huge falling out. So I'm sort of feeling like it's not that unusual, the situation that I had with, my former co-host that apparently has nothing else to do in life. sorry for you because I've got an amazing filled life. Anyways, but I guess it's more common than I thought to have another co-host just go off the deep end, because it sounds like Justin was really thrown with this, and he has not talked to this other podcast friend of his in like 2 years. So anyways, really good podcast. I felt like Allison knew just enough about everything going on. Like, she knew about Jeff. She knew about the earrings. She just knew about a lot of stuff. Justin really got his chance to mention it all. He didn't go in hard. He was just honest about the things that played out to kind of end this friendship with him and Heather and professional relationship with Heather McDonald. And he also gave me a lot of insight to, like, he's been in this business 14 years. Some things that were really hurtful to him. I just felt like he explained it all, right? Yeah, Cynthia says it was a great podcast with Justin. Again, it's called Allison Rosen, Rosen podcast. Allison Rosen is your new best friend is the name of the podcast. So anyways, let me know in comments if you took a listen. It's not about, like I said, for me also, it's not about the earrings, but it's also not anti-Heather McDonald. I honestly had a heartfelt conversation with a friend this morning about literally being concerned for Heather McDonald. I was like, I don't follow her anymore. You know, she unblocked me, but we didn't refollow each other, respectfully, understand. So I don't easily see her content come up anymore, but I want to see her promoting herself. I want to see her out to dinner with her friends. I want to see a picture of her and playing golf with her boys, you know, things like that, because I want to know that she's doing okay. I feel like this podcast could like really put her in a hole and make her wonder, hopefully rethink some of her decisions and how she handled this. She doesn't have to admit fault. She just needs to say and have a little more compassion for things that went down, and maybe realize maybe I could have handled things a little bit different, because it definitely sounded like she really hurt Justin Martindale professionally and personally, which is of course what she is claiming that they're all doing, you know, colluding against her, Krista and Jeff and Justin. But he goes on to say how happy he is to now be friendly with Jeff Lewis, to be a chump. And it was just a really good podcast. So let me know what you think. But again, to me, it's not about Heather McDonald. I really do care about people as humans. And I don't want to think about this podcast making her feel bad. I want to think about maybe she comes to the realization, oh, maybe I could have handled things a little bit differently, which is the unsolicited advice that I was trying to give her in a DM when we were friendly and when we followed each other around Labor Day weekend, maybe before Labor Day weekend, just trying to say, look, your huge Juicy Scoop fans are complaining to me about you, saying that you've changed, you're not accountable for your actions, things like that. So I just was giving her some private DM advice, and it just didn't go over well, which is fine. Nobody needs to take my advice. I mean, it's free. You get what you pay for, right? But anyways, great podcast. Take a listen. Again, I'm not anti anyone except some people, and you know who you are, the lovers. But I'm not anti Heather McDonald. I really am genuinely hoping she's okay after this podcast, because I do feel like it might be a wake-up call for her to just hear it laid out so plainly from Justin. So I don't know. Oh, Daily Dose of Donna's on YouTube. Do you think Heather McDonald is capable of taking accountability over it? I think, Donna, there's hope for everyone. I think we can all make decisions. And then once our ego and once all of her fans start pumping her up, and, you know, friends and family, maybe, you know, she probably thinks, oh, I'm right. So maybe she can change her mind or realize maybe I could have handled this a little bit better. It may not be this week, may not be next week. I don't really know. What I do know, Donna, is I am going to see you December 21st at the Jeff Lewis Second Annual Chumpmas, and I cannot wait. We haven't had time to talk yet. I was busy last night. It was her son Dylan's birthday, so they were out to dinner. But Donna and I are going to chat soon about a Chumpette Daily Doser gathering around that time. So we're still planning it. So I cannot wait to meet everyone. Dosers and Chumpettes unite. I just cannot wait for sure. Okay. Yes, we need to schedule a meetup. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, let's get into today's Tom Arnold and Doug Buden. Oh my gosh. So Tom Arnold in the past has been very high energy. It's like he barely talks, he barely stops. I feel like he is totally growing on me, like a lot of the people are. I love how he speaks about being a father. So a long time ago, maybe during COVID, Jeff met Tom Arnold at a local park when they were taking care of their kids. One of them, I forget which one, had to go to the bathroom and they asked the other person to watch their kids for them. So then they just started talking dad stuff. I think there's a relationship. I think Monica Casey's kids maybe went to school with Tom Arnold's kids. So one day they started talking and had lunch maybe about divorce and, how that has gone on in their lives and how that's affected them as parents and exes and their kids. And of course, now they have this podcast together called Divorce Party. Y'all, I have no plans on a divorce. There's not even a lot of divorce in my family. Like literally, it's crazy. My father was the oldest. My father. My father was the oldest of 12. I mean, I don't think any of them have ever divorced. My mom had one brother and they divorced early on, but they were always amicable, always at Christmas with us and everything. So I really don't have a lot of divorce in my family at all, and I don't plan on it, but it's such a good podcast, really fun. But divorce is so prevalent, whether you're the child of a divorce, whether you're the parent of a divorce, a friend, a sister, an uncle, whatever. It is such a good podcast to like really kind of work through that and also kind of entertaining. So check it out, Divorce Party. But Tom comes in with his nails painted, not just painted, but I think they were pink, right? And Jeff is like relating to that because he's like, oh yeah, I was at a birthday party recently. My niece Peppers or Quinn's, I think it was Pepper, and he let the other girls paint his nails. And they love that. Y'all, I have 4 daughters. The way they love to play beauty school and like paint each other's nails, paint their mom's nails, paint their dad's nails. It is so fun. And I loved hearing those stories. Of course, then they get into the butthole licking story. And I was like, oh my God, why are we going into that? But, that's a more along the lines of the news stories that Jeff and them say. But it was so funny. Tom does talk about having 4 ex-wives. So Jeff is not there yet. I mean, goals. But they do talk about the ins and outs of co-parenting and how stressful it could be. Clearly, Tom has some really crazy stuff with the police being called a lot. He's got security cameras to prove when his ex-wife is lying about him or the kids. I mean, that part is awful. Jeff doesn't have it that bad yet, and I hope it never gets that bad. I actually hope it gets better for him and Gage. But they are fighting over one of the big things is what Tom has, where it's 1 week on, 1 week off, and there's zero communication or seeing each other and transferring the kids. Because how they do it is one picks up the kids from school and the other one drops off whenever it's time for them to switch back. And I think that's what Jeff is trying to get at. But again, there's pros and cons to that because, Jeff and Gage don't want to go a week, I'm sure, without seeing Monroe. I'm sure they would come to an agreement to talk to her on the phone. But my goal is that they come to an agreement that's because they live so close to each other, fortunately, they could maybe even say, hey, it's Tuesday and Monroe really misses you. Do you want to take her to dinner? Or do you want to take her to McDonald's? Something, take her to the park, something fun like that. But at this point, it's all seems to be going through the legal system. And Tom even talked about how that kind of sucks because you get roped into paying for all the legal stuff. So, and I think Jeff has talked about having to pay for Gage's legal bills. So it's just crazy. Lady, let me know what experience you've had or what you think would really work for Jeff. On TikTok, step parent here, week on and week off is the best for a kid. That's good to know. I don't know your name. Corlin Cat. Lady Grace said 1 week off, 1 week on. Usually the other parent gets dinner on Wednesday when it's not their week. That makes sense. Thank you for the follow, Catherine Crane. Oh no, give us gold. Give us a good thing. K-Hep says either it's amicable from the start or it will never get there. I don't know. I'm hoping they do. Right. Yeah. Melanie says, thank God I didn't divorce until my kids were grown. And a lot of people, my oldest is 22. So we are definitely, most of our friends had the typical 2 kids in a dog family. So we have 5, but a lot of people like us have their 2 kids away at college. And now they're realizing, oh, we have nothing in common. Like we only stayed together for the kids. So I do think when kids are adults is a common time now when people are getting a divorce versus, doing it when they're younger, right? Darla says, I stayed single while raising my son. I mean, there's pros and cons to that, right? I don't remember what reality show it was I was watching, but years ago, they were talking about, you have no one to question you. When you're a single parent, yes, it's hard. It's financially, it's emotional, it's physically exhausting, but you have nobody fighting the decisions with you, right? You get to decide everything, how much you're going to pay for college, if you're going to buy them a car or not, what their curfew is going to be. You know what I mean? So who knows? I'm sure there's pros and cons to all of it, but I did love when they were talking, they both have 7-year-old daughters. So Tom and Jeff really have a lot more in common than anyone on the surface would give them credit for, even taking baths with their kids, right? Of course, they wear bathing suits, but I love thinking of Jeff and like his sweet dad side, like snuggled up with Monroe taking a bath, because there is something that's very sweet about that. And I loved also that Tom and Jeff were talking about things where as your kids keep growing up, they kind of always want to resort back a little bit to when they were a child. Like Tom mentions the baby bottle, Jeff mentions the sippy cup and the baths on vacation. So thought that part was really sweet. Then they start talking though, something about Reddit and like how crazy that can be. Maybe the parenting talk. I don't remember what they were saying. And Jeff said, Reddit is crazy. And they were talking about the name, the person that named their kid Seaman and then regretted it because they realized it meant something different in America and they moved here. And then Jeff was like, oh yeah, you might as well go to the Jeff Lewis Facebook groups. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, because Lady Grace said Reddit is a cesspool. I mean, Reddit is wild. I am not a member of that. So somebody sent me a screenshot today of somebody defending me in Reddit. And they said, because apparently my name is all over Reddit because they have nothing better to do with their time. And somebody defended me and they said, oh, is that you, Sarah from Texas? And I'm like, no. Don't even have a Reddit account. Don't even know if it's an app. I don't know if it's a website. I just get screenshots and I laugh. It's hilarious. Anyways, okay. Monroe, Beth Jager, Monroe will be a young lady soon. Oh, what's embarrassing? Oh, the bath thing is private? Time to not talk about that. Taking a bath with your dad is private? See, I think it's not. Like, I think that's making it a nasty thing when it's absolutely not a nasty thing. I don't think spending time with your child is bad at all. I don't think a bath with your child at 7. Now, 14, clearly, they've got buds and their period and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so many reasons not to take a bath with your 14-year-old child. Not that they would ever want to anyways, trust me. But 7 years old, perfectly okay with that, with him wearing a bathing suit. Absolutely. What else? They all use the Family Wizard. That's an app that you can pay for. So not everyone has access to that, but you can pay for it to where the advice that he gives Jeff was great. He says, someone told me, don't ever write on an app or say something to your ex, something you don't want your kids to read or hear later, years later. Such good advice, right? Being on a radio show, Jeff is well aware that Gage is listening or Gage is being told stuff, and that can all get back to Monroe at any time because parents from her school might be talking, the neighbors, kids might overhear things, and then they might say things to Monroe at school. So it's definitely a fine line of what to say and what not to do, right? For sure. Oh yes, Billy says, miserable people hate happy people. So true. And I mean, I'm not perfect, but I am happy. And when things don't go well, y'all, I've had 3 people. I mean, so many people in my family have cancer. And we're not going to get sad here, but I mean, I've gone through my dad being sick with cancer. I've gone through my mom being sick with cancer. My brother, my only sibling, was diagnosed with stage 4 rectal cancer at age 37. Thank God he's healthy now at age 53. But stage 4 rectal cancer went to his liver. Just think about that for a second. I have been through some things, okay, like everyone has. But yeah, through it all, I do stay happy. I do stay appreciative and grateful for the good things going on. We don't have to love everything going on in our life, but some of these people that are on social media are just so freaking uh coming at me, and I'm like, don't waste your time. Don't be shout out lovers if you're watching. Like, why waste your time watching what I do? Just spend your time doing something fun or twiddle your thumbs like Jenna Lyons was doing during BravoCon. Like, seriously, people. Um, it's not till my friend said that, Daddy, what's that? And then the bath stopped, Kathy says. I mean, but at some point you can just explain that's a penis or that's a whatever. Oh, now Donna's on Instagram. Shout out okay. Thank you. Who Dad on TikTok says, I agree. I love your positivity. I mean, we're not always going to have fabulous days, right? But I think we can always focus as much as we can and surround ourselves with positive, encouraging, motivating people. Like I was talking about my neighbor, my 82-year-old neighbor who's freaking amazing. I adore him, but it was so fun for me to be this generation and talk to him how he's seen our kids grow up. And then on the other side of me, I was talking about my neighbor who was 7 when we moved in. And now she's a mom of twin girls that knocked on our door for Halloween. I mean, I'd met her babies during COVID, but when she visits her mom, but to see her now as a mom, which like I just felt like in the middle of this beautiful thing where you like someone sees your kids grow up and they appreciate that, and then I got to see someone else's kids grow up and they're a mom. Yes, reality cowgirl Diane says I love talking to my elders. Yeah, just Jessica on Instagram. People are just haters. We love you, Sarah. Thank you. I'm not begging for compliments. I just put it out there because there's been a lot of mean stuff online lately. And I'm like, God, don't waste your time on me. I'm just Sarah in Texas with a fun fan account. Like, don't waste your time. Yes. Michael Riley says, I love seeing the kids grow up. And it's so funny because my kids look so similar. Uh, Obviously my daughters, that when they see what some people will call them the wrong name because they'll think, oh, I haven't seen that daughter in a year, so this must be that same daughter. And it's actually the next kid. And then they'll be like, oh, someone came in my restaurant because one of my daughters is a hostess. And they'll say, oh, they called me the wrong name. And they're like, oh, I'm Tegan. And it's kind of funny. Anyways, enough of that, right? Okay, what else? The after show, Amanda McCants and Joey Zalzig. So I think, like I've said all along, I really like when the co-host on the after show are either really good friends, they've got some things to talk about that they've done in person, that they've hung out, or that they're close chumps or family of Jeff Lewis, right? And kind of give us some insight. So Jeff and Shane did not make an appearance on today's after show. They probably had some work. They usually will say if they're going to come on the after show for a little bit, and they didn't. So it's always better to me because I feel like Jeff kind of opens up. I feel like he thinks the after show is like nobody's listening. And I'm like, oh, we're listening, honey. But I feel like he can say a lot more. You know what I mean? Like I totally remember the first one in June of this year. I was on vacation we were already at the condo in Destin, Florida, and I was listening to the first show, and he goes off talking about Shane's now boyfriend, Brogan, who at the time was his roommate, and Jeff and Shane was given things like, I really want to be his boyfriend, but we're just friends. And he was like, I can say all this because I know nobody's listening. And I was like, oh, I'm listening. Oh, I'm listening. Yes. Oh, somebody says Amanda's kind of drippy. What does that mean? Boring? I don't know what drippy means. I did get some DMs that people weren't loving Amanda. They think she's a little immature for radio. I don't love everyone all the time. I really loved her and Joey together, though. I really did. And I even think it's funny when she says things. I don't know if she's serious or not. You know what I mean? But when she says things like, I'm so pretty, or, my boobs look really good. She was saying today something about her boobs look really big. They're not fitting in her bra. I don't know. I love that. Oh, I love that. Leffy 206. I enjoy these recaps more than the radio shows. Oh my God. I mean, I don't love that, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, Darla. Hold on. By the way, Sarah, your BravoCon glam inspired me, and I had my hair done and colored. that's actually sweet or sad. I don't know. If it makes you feel good, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Like, I'd never want girls, especially, to feel like we're caught up in, because I mean, this is me. You know what I mean? Like, glam, I do feel better, but would I want to take the time and money every day away from life to get glam every day? I mean, I say I would, but I mean, I really wouldn't, but it does make you feel amazing. So a good color and cut goes a long way. My 19-year-old sent me pictures. She just got her hair colored yesterday in Georgia. So I get to see her Friday when she comes home for Thanksgiving. Um, yes. Yes. Venus says, I enjoy you and Donna and Adam. I assume you mean Up and Adam. I love that. Well, I don't know which Dana you mean. Dana Wilkie or Donna, Daily Dose of Donna. Anyways, okay. They start talking about male nail art. I don't think I'd ever thought of like guys getting like pictures or designs on their nails. I mean, it's been a thing for years. They've even got male nail polish, which doesn't need to be a thing. It can be any color for anybody, but that's sort of the marketing thing, right? But even like Tom Sandoval, I only knew his nails to be white. Like, I don't really meant to. Oh, I love that. Nichols says, I love both Dana Wilkie and Donna. So I love that. Daily Dose of Donna. But she was talking about a guy that she's, I think, on and off with. He like gets his nails done in like nail art. So I don't know. I love a good manicure on a man. I'm not opposed. My son years ago, he was little. He would get a pedicure with us sometimes. I mean, having 4 sisters, and he got black toenail polish. And then he went out to LA for an audition for this big movie that he was up for that movie Room. Do you remember that movie or the book? It's about like this guy that takes a girl and puts her in this room. She never sees that he gets her pregnant. She has a very pale, like my son, very pale, very thin boy that stays in this room, and, you know, she's continues to be abused. But anyways, he was up for that role. So we had to go to LA for like a director audition or whatever. And he like immediately was like, take this nail polish off my toes. Like, I'm not going to be seen with this, because I don't even know if he had tennis shoes on, sandals. I don't remember. But anyways, that's so long ago. I think now it's much more of an acceptable thing, clearly, for boys, any gender, any whatever, to get their nails painted and nail art. So it wasn't that much of a conversation, but they kind of seemed anti it for sure. Oh, wait, what? I love that. Raquel says, my dad uses nail polish for chemotherapy to keep them strong. Oh, because your nails get so thin and break. That's so true. So many things happen from chemo side effects, right? For sure. Yeah. Oh, that's a good tip. Thank you. Oh, I love that. Darla says, I love it. I hate my gray hair. I feel you there. Look at this. She did it salt and pepper. My hair is to my butt. Oh my God. Send me a picture on Instagram or Facebook. I love it. Yes. Kathy Farron says, dosers and chumpettes unite. Oh my God. I love that so much. And we don't have to unite just December 21st. We can be united by, you know, watching both of our shows, liking our videos, following both me and Donna. It's amazing. Like, we get on each other's shows. I used to get on her TikToks more, but I don't think she's going TikTok live anymore. It used to be on when I would be getting ready for my show, or like, you know, put my hair in a ponytail. Okay. Then they started talking about the amount of time you have sex, and they were really getting into the nitty gritty, like, you know, the making out, the, you know, in my situation, it's, you know, him pleasing me and then he gets pleased. And that's kind of always the order that it goes in, because, you know, I've always been well taken care of in that respect. But they really get into the nitty gritty, and it kind of surprised me, because I do follow Joey Zalzik on TikTok and Instagram, love watching his stuff, but he's very much about like getting the D with his husband, Brian, and maybe some other people. I'm not really sure what's going on there. He's kind of mentioned a few things, maybe the other day, some guy in Italy or something. But he wants to get right down to it. Like, he's like, I want to kiss a little bit and then get to it. So I don't need to know all your dirty details, because that's a little too much for me. But I am curious, you know, if you like to just get down to it, or you like a lot of foreplay interaction before. Wow, Sarah at night, or the morning. The afternoon doesn't happen as much anymore because kids are too old. Ugh. Don't get me started. Y'all with young kids or not having any kids yet, you can do it anytime, anywhere you want. But once you have 5 kids in the house and they know what you're doing, whole different ball game. Anyways, you got to get creative. Okay. Then they start talking about which chump will get pregnant next. They were talking about Megan. They said Alyssa. Okay. I know Megan still has her period. She's made that very clear. She's still having her monthly cycle. I don't think she's getting pregnant anytime soon. Don't think she wants to. Alyssa doesn't even want to have kids. I don't think Paige Davis wants to have kids, or that's what she says now. We can all change our mind at any moment. I think she wants to be the ultimate stepmom, the ultimate second wife for sure. But I started thinking, like, who would get pregnant? Like, that would be so wild to see. I started thinking of all the inner circle chumps and like, who would get pregnant? Like Krista, I could see her having another baby. Yes, Lex Chic says Megan is very proud about that too. Absolutely. Hilarious. What are y'all saying on TikTok? I'm missing everything over there. What else? Oh, I love that. AUS Fly Girl. I hope things are great with Monroe. I think of her often. Yeah, he's kind of died down on talking about her a lot, but I do think he's doing it to be respectful, but it's to be a dad, it's such a big part of your life, and he's got one child to focus on. So, I sort of love whenever he slips in these little conversations about her for sure. Yes, Jackie Schimmel does want another baby. You're right. Yeah, I can see. Oh, MJ. I don't MJ talked about it for a while. Oh my God, Shane baby for baby Shane. Oh my God, I'm dying. I do think Shane wants to be a dad. I mean, he's only 26, so he's got a long time. I wish health insurance covered fertility for any gender, you know what I mean, or any situation. I think a lot of health insurance doesn't cover fertility issues or surrogacy, adoption. Not all of them do for sure, but maybe that's a thing. Y'all let me know if that has changed, but I would love to know that in 2023, things have been made to help people prevent pregnancy, but also to have a pregnancy if you cannot for any number of reasons. Did y'all hear when so Amanda says, I want to ask you a question, but you don't have to answer it. And he's like, oh my God, I'm kind of nervous. She asked him, when did you come out to your family and how did it go? So he couldn't really remember. And I think he said this before, like the summer before his senior year of high school. He always had this kind of deep voice. I mean, I think he's like 6'4". He's very tall. He's always had this really deep voice, but there's a little bit of a high pitch to it also, right? So he had a lot of bullying, a lot of horrific names calling to him. And but his therapist outed him to his mom and dad, who were already divorced at the time. His dad is a medical malpractice attorney. So I don't know if he sued the therapist, but he definitely said they stopped going to the therapist because clearly I think there are reasons a therapist has to tell a parent things, but not outing them. So I don't know. I don't really know. Does anyone know how old Joey Zalzig is? Like 32-ish? I have no idea how old he is. I'm just trying to think of what year this would be, like what the mindset would have been of the therapist to tell this information to the mom and dad whenever Joey probably didn't know that she was going to, right? Yes, Kathy says Monroe's stories are the best. He's such a good dad. I love that. And I think it was a commercial yesterday, I think, with Nikki Haskell and Josh Flagg, and they were talking, and I think she asked him how much he goes out, and he was talking about like, oh, I'm usually asleep by 9, maybe on the weekends I'll stay out till midnight. So he did talk about Saturday night, and he stayed out till like midnight, but he was home by then because, Monroe wakes up early, and he's like, she's not waiting for me. Reality Cowgirl. I love that name. This is my friend Diane. So funny that people thought Chris Applegate was Joey. Yes. The guy that's divorcing the makeup art, or is he the makeup artist of Kim Kardashian, who after like 6 months is now getting a divorce? And Joey posted that they thought it was him. That was actually funny. Okay, we've got 5 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, Crafty Dodger, each time I see Joey, he looks more like a model. Oh my God, I love that. Oh, Michael Riley says, Nikki's too repetitive. Take a pass, see her in the new year. And do think I like some space between people. I did hear on the radio that, and why isn't Lisa Barlow on? Wasn't she scheduled to be on today? So remember on like Fridays after the last commercial break, or no, when they come back from the first commercial break, I think they always say next week's guest lineup. Lisa Barlow was supposed to be on this week, and then they just never mentioned anything. So, you never know if it's sickness or whatever, I just wish we would have heard if she's going to reschedule. I did hear Kelly and Rick say they're going to be on the show Monday on Jeff Lewis Live, because they were talking about her mom staying with them through Thanksgiving and how it helps, even though their daughter is, Jolie is 17, I think. Didn't she just turn 17, not 18? Thinking of Megan's daughter that just turned 18. And, it just helps, like, you need a grandma there with you. And I love that she stays there and really close to them for sure. Tomorrow. No, Rick and Kelly are on Monday. Tomorrow is Jody Sweeten and Joey Zalzig. And then on the after show is Mercedes Javid and Jamie Kennedy again. So that's who's on this week for that. I think that's all I wrote down. So do you have any questions? Is Lisa Barlow the one whose son is on a mission? Yes, on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. What did Josh say about Tori? Well, he was saying, oh my God, I'm going to meet you, DJ Rockstar Aaron. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Y'all, the way I'm so excited as equally to see the Jeff Lewis Live Chumpmas as I am, we are planning in the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group, there's an event. So go up, join the group, and then go up to the event. And then there's a separate chat where the ones of us that are going to the event are like posting about our hotel, things we want to do, coffee reading and stuff. But we're definitely having a meetup. I think I need to finalize this with Donna, Daily Dose of Donna, Donna Bowling. I think it's going to be easier if we just started at 5 o'clock, Thursday, December 21st. So whether you have a ticket or not, if you're in the LA area, come, because oh, can you get in though? Actually, you probably can't get in without a ticket. Never mind. Okay. Well, we are going to get together, I think at 5 at the Bourbon Room Hollywood. That way we can just all hang out, meet people. It sounds like it's like open seating. So then we can find somebody to sit next to. That way we can enjoy the show together. So trust me, do not be nervous if you're coming alone. You will be surrounded by dosers and chumpettes. It is going to be so much fun just to meet everybody for sure. So Rose Selena, Josh on a commercial break told Jeff that for Christmas, he said the spellings. So I'm assuming that means candy because, maybe he means Randy too. I don't know. He said the spellings and the flags are going to be spending the holidays together in Hawaii for 3 weeks. And Shane says, is Tori coming? And he said, what do you think? And then he says, no, they asked and she never got back to us or something like that. So the kids and Tori aren't coming. So I don't know. Does that mean Candy Spelling's not spending the holidays with Tori and the kids? I don't even know. It's a mess, right? Ugh. Annette, I was hoping Jeff would have rescheduled that date. It's too close to Christmas. It is. It is close to Christmas for sure. Yes, he said, let's not talk about Tori. He did. Because I think he's such good friends with Candy. He doesn't want to badmouth her. And he knows that Jeff is friends with her. Jeff didn't say a word. I don't even know that he was paying attention, really. It seemed to be more Shane and Josh in the conversation than Jeff for sure. CJ on YouTube says Joey Zalzig's keep or toss live in his closet on TikTok last night was hilarious. Oh my God, I missed that. And I saw him promote that he was going live on TikTok. Y'all follow him on Joey Zalzig on TikTok. He's really funny. And he was going through his clothes, right? And he gave a tour of his closet, I think. Krista, yeah. Candy and Tori go in and out of a relationship. It's sad. And I'm not trying to make it seem, a mother-daughter relationship can be, challenging at best. So I think it's really hard when they're in the spotlight and when a lot of money is involved. People assume that you're going to be happier because there's money involved. And that's not always the case at all, right? For sure. Oh, I love that, Darla. Yes. I miss how families were during the holidays, all the grandparents and cousins all together. And that's something I tell my kids already. Like I already put it in their brain that I want us to all live on the same street. I want the kids to all go to the same elementary school. When there's grandparents' day, I want us to be able to go and see all of our grandkids at one school. I said, oh my gosh, it'll make it so much easier for me and daddy to like babysit for y'all, the cousins to play together on the same street. Trust me, I've got like, you know, acreage ideas and like little houses on each one and like this master kitchen where like we have a chef because we can pool our money. Oh my God, I've got crazy ideas. Crazy ideas because I love family so much. I never moved away from my mom and dad or my brother. And I made that very clear to my husband. When I met him in 1999, I said, I don't care how much money you ever make. I am never moving away from my mom and dad and brother. And I never did. So anyways, oh, Joyce, don't ruin my dream. Dream on, Sarah, about family living on the same street. No, it's a goal. I can manifest it for sure. I can manifest it. Well, thank you so much for joining live. It is so much more fun. If you came in later, the replay goes up immediately. It got on all my social media. Everything is under Jeff Lewis Obsessed. I'm on every platform. So pick your favorite one. Make sure you're following me. Oh, thank you, Rose Salinas. I love your sunny disposition, Sarah. Have you always lived in Dallas? I've never lived in Dallas. I live just south of Houston called Pearland, Texas. I have a daughter that goes to school in Denton, though, so I'm in the Dallas area somewhat often. Make sure you're following me, liking, subscribing, sharing. Share the joy of Jeff Lewis Obsessed. Don't keep it to yourself. We are such a fun community, and we're so lucky to have each other. And I cannot wait to meet a lot of you at the December 21st event or any other Jeff Lewis or Bravo related events that are coming up. Bye, y'all. Oh, there's my co-host, Luna. Lulu.